Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, hello, and welcome to everybody's 34th favorite Wednesday Tetris Friendlies program on Twitch. I am your host, IanKeith, and these are two of the players you'll be getting to see this fine Wednesday afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there on the Twitch, on the YouTube. I see you out there. Hello, Threes. Hello, Morlando. Those are our players. Hello, Catfinity. Over on YouTube, I see you, Sim Samuel, Martin Retro, and Brick QK. Good to have you all with us here. If our players would like a randomly generated seed as we get this show on the road, do let me know. And we can watch some blocks fall. We can do the Tetris thing. What are the other 33 Wednesday shows? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to watch them, because now you're watching this one. Seed is up in the chat. I will pin it for our players, and if you want to play along at home, Echo Charlie, 8 Delta, Foxtrot Charlie. Even the Seed is happy to see us doing the Tetris Friendlies. Both our players doing 29 plus practice. Threes rolling. Morlando distinctly not, but still getting a few lines. Love to see it. Ooh. Got the quick tap on the 4 high. Oh, got that square tuck. Crowd already ready to see it. Hey, Charlie, you gotta ring the bell. Dude, do your job. There it is. Let's flip and go, says Avi. Up the toffees. No reason to delay. It's time to play game number 1. 3, 2, 1. Square up. Stream delay perhaps. There we go. Alright, we're underway. We're going. We got the good luck, have funs in chat. We got 2 players both shooting for the moon. Introductions, please, on the left-hand side. He's a DAS player out of the United States. Personal best, 1.127 million. Nothing to sneeze at. Long-time member of the community, long-time battler on Friendlies and many other places, and as I found out in the Tetris Friendlies Discord earlier today, getting ready to face off against this very same opponent in another place soon enough. That on your left, more, give me more, Orlando, his opponent on the right-hand side. He's a roller out of the United Kingdom, personal best, 1.401. Claiming to be rollover or bust today, though. I'm hoping not to immediately lose those chances here with this already slightly spooky stack, but that rolling will help fix things up. That is threes, twos, chess. And to quote a YouTuber I enjoy watching sometimes, no, that is not chess. That is Tetris. Underway, game number one, Morlando, nice clean board, knocks down a Tetris, will be at 125, sets up a bar dependency in the center, but the stack is at the ground, and the bar comes soon enough. Threes after that, Tetris is at 71,000, same line count, so Morlando enjoying an early lead as we get things on the road here. We've got 4 matches on the docket today, all of which I'm sure are going to be fun. You're seeing our leadoff match here as Morlando and threes, twos get some warm-up before a Classic Tetris League bout later on. Following that up, we're gonna really have some fun as we get Mr. Friendlies himself, Martz. Your daily dose of Martz, you gotta have him, you gotta love him. Facing off against my tag team partner, 20 Dan 03, playing in a style he's not as accustomed to, although I've seen him play a lot of it lately. After that, speaking of DAS greatness, 2 top-tier DAS players facing off in what is sure to be an absolute thriller as Josh Tolles and Maestro will duke it out. We're finishing things off, well, what do you know, with at least a little bit more DAS as Doodle and Yama will finish out our Thursday. Do I know Meme's real name? Meme's real name is Meme. That's as far as we, That's the important thing here. Three, but not for threes. That's from Orlando. Score 2-2-0 for threes. We're past the halfway point of the 18 speeds here in game number one. For those unfamiliar, perhaps, we're going to see 130 lines normally of this 18 speed, although, ooh, Morlando. No, never mind. We're not going to see it out of Morlando. Stack fell apart quickly, and at 334, Morlando's topped out, and threes, you've got to chase down. 335 will be required. Handful of Tetrises all the time in the world. Things got a little high in the center, and Morlando was not able to work things around. You can kind of see it right here, the stack of the double Z's in the middle. That became a problem. Early topping is unethical. Curly is. Who does that even? Definitely not me constantly. $300,000 for threes, who is taking this slow and steady. Very slow and steady. We are in middle-class white guy strats here, lining this one out. And just 334,000 again, the target. We are 1.5 Tetrises away. And in this, the year of our Lord, 2026, threes is center welling it out with singles. Gives us a little bit of time here. Oh wow, doesn't even bother trying to get the square left. Goes, no. We good. Threes, I guess, wanting to drag out game one here as much as possible, give some of our other players more time to warm up. Because we are absolutely lining this out. Into level 19 at 317. Josh Tolles in the chat approving of the strategy of going as slow as possible. We'll be seeing Josh later. Looking forward to that match. That is going to be a banger of a fight. $328. Mixed rotation of a J. Beautiful. Not exactly a clean stack, but... Alright, 331. Going to line out in 19. Bro's lighting. Oh! 333.9. We're not there yet. Okay, that triple will be enough at 340. Took a little while. Gonna squeeze in an extra nap, but that's enough for game one. Eventually. Even answering the question, is he going to line out into 19? Yes. Yeah, very yes. All right, we've got a ready and a hover 3. 3's on the board first. Can Morlando recover from that rough misdrop on 18 here in game number 2? One way to find out in 3, 2, 1. Square up. Welcome on into Chen as well. Checking out the queue. All 4 of our matches. Guaranteed to bring some measure of entertainment at some point today. Early days, game number 2. Morlando was built up pretty high there, but gets Tetris. There's another one. Take 2. They're small. 3s will start following suit, and we can get game 2 moving here. Blah. Blah. I remember the English language. Sometimes. First time these two have ever played each other, so we're going to get some nearly back-to-back from these two if you follow the Classic Tetris League, which is a fun time in and of itself. A little head shake out of Morlando here. Didn't like the way his stack was going, but some really good solves there. Got out of it with not too many burns. 163 from Morlando. Ooh, setting up the Vits with the T-Tuck. Beautiful. 163.020 for 3, separated by a single. 3's not getting a T-piece to that spin. Just gonna have to create a bit of a hole. Morlando setting up more Vits. Got to. Just gotta get as many as possible. That's the real metric by which we score everything these days, clearly. Clean stacks on both sides. Kind of makes my job pretty easy. Orlando's built up a couple of Tetris lead here as we approach the halfway marker on the 18 speeds. It is 219 to 302. Music is really loud in my ears. Oh my goodness gracious. It's kind of hard to hear myself. It does appear that both players getting a... Ooh! Orlando saw an adjustment a little bit too late. Bar dependency on the left side, but we'll get a couple pieces over. Use that square to burn off a double. 3's nice and clean. Both players now just waiting on the next bar. 3's will get one up to 310. Orlando on 329. Same line counts. That lead is down to a little under 1 Tetris here. Hey, smooth chat, thank you. I've been having quite the time lately. I have been waiting patiently for a new mouse to get delivered. You know what's really annoying is suddenly not having the ability to scroll downward with your mouse wheel. Having to find new ways to navigate every menu. The worst one has been navigating Discord. Well, I had a pretty dependent board on the left-hand side. Now getting a few helpful pieces. Excellent adjustment with the L. 404 for threes, 426 from Orlando, but threes is gonna basically bring things all square with the Tetris there. Orlando really doesn't want to take this triple. Oh my god. Will finally get a darty Tetris there up to 450. And not just for muscle memory. Oh, like you wouldn't believe. Three is now in a bit of a hole in column 7, but gets a Tetris to lower the stack down. Can debate how he wants to address this. Orlando's going to get a Tetris. That's a hole in column 5. Unfortunately, having to put weight over it. Three's going to be digging for just a little while here. Has to burn off a triple there. Separated by about 15,000 points here. We're starting to approach the transition to 18 speeds. Orlando already north of 500k here. Threes is at 464. Neither player clean. Orlando, though, can play off a row 2 here for a bit. That was a triple that Threes had to take. Yeah, looks like Orlando will just set up on row 2 for a little while. Thinking maybe... Oh, early shift that S-piece, though. You see the shake of the head there. Had to quickly improvise. And now, transition right around the corner. Would love to get this stack cleaned up. Could have rotated that T the other way at a little easier spot for the S. And Orlando's going to be going in dirty. Threes has got a center well. Take a Tetris there up to 500,000. Orlando trying to get ready for transition here. This board, a little spicy as we go in at 540. Good pieces to start bringing it down. Threes into transition at 505, so back by 1.5 Tetrises. Oh, but Orlando doesn't get the quick tap on the bar. Squeezes one more piece over, but not any more points. 544, and Orlando is done. Threes, one Tetris would do it. We're already at 533. The piece is not helping the cause. Well reopened here, 545 that requires just 11,000 points. Discounted, thought it was 6 high. 548 will be enough, and a dagger to finish, and threes will go up 2-0. GG. Let it be part of the storyline. Budding rivalry or something. Also win more.
Already dead.
800,000 in level 24. That's my bit, Orlando. I'm the one that just... That's why I switched over to playing mostly Das League. Because I got tired of just losing to rollers constantly. 850 for threes and 26. Back-to-back jacks to go north of 9. Oh! No perfect clear. Rip. Good max out into level 28 here. I like how last game Threes decided to spend as long as possible lining out with singles, and now mullining out the max out. Maybe a triple is enough to get 1.1 into, but no, not gonna happen. Doubling in at A61. Missed a square left, but gets a good 5-tap. Westham not playing football, but Tetris. Oh, hey, they gotta win something. I actually don't know how they're doing, or how they've been doing, so I just wanted to poke a little fun. It's always fun to just give a little poke at football rivalries. Alright, now that Threes has doubled Orlando's score completely unnecessarily. Tolerable kill screen. Still no rollover. You said rollover or bust. But Threes has got both hands on the broom. Can Orlando get a grip and start the comeback, or will he get swept away? One way to find out. Game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Square up. Bar JZL, we're underway. Orlando in both games 1 and 2 topped out with the higher score, requiring chase downs from Threes, so Orlando's been able to be more efficient on the 18 speeds. But now has to be able to make the adjustments to survive longer on the 19 speeds and take advantage of the leads that he's been able to create. Unfortunately, right now, he'd just like to be able to take advantage of pieces that actually help this stack because, oh boy. Not the most promising start. Threes is squeaky clean. Knocks down Tetris number 4. And gets the Vits with the T-Vert. However, Orlando does have the advantage in pushdown points, which, if you know me, it makes all the real difference here. That's the true battle. Threes, I look away for 1 second to adjust the music volume, and Threes is up at the top of the screen. Orlando's digging at next box height, too. Neither player the most comfortable at the moment, though Threes has gotten things clean. Orlando still digging. Does get things open, is set up on row 2. Threes will knock down a Tetris. Orlando finally gets the bar. There we go. Single to transfer the well over. Orlando's at 95,000. Wow, back bars. Threes at 157, so ahead by a couple of Tetrises. Although actually ahead in lines as well. These pieces still really not agreeing with Orlando's stack. It's a great solution with the T, though. Very crafty way to solve that without requiring too many extra burns. which is what Threes is now having to do. Gotta be a handful of burns required here from the roller. What are you supposed to do with eye bursts? Well, you're either clean and set up, or you're annoyed. Very annoyed. Usually I am the latter. They're the worst when you're digging. That is the worst time to get eye bursted. Threesel knocked out a Tetris to 237. Morlando's closed the gap at 191 and is still behind in lines a little bit here. And 3 is still not quite clean. Not in any danger at this point, but still got a few more lines to burn away to start getting back to Tetris readiness. Morlando getting battered with S's and Z's finally gets a couple of handy pieces to get set up for a Tetris, just for more useless pieces to show up. Thank you, Tetris. You never fail to disappoint. There we go. There's a clean Tetris. And one for Threes as well. 245 playing 269. Hey, now, it's a 1 Tetris lead here, so pretty commendable job coming back. Welcome on in, Martz. Mr. Friendlies himself will be seeing you soon enough. So I hope you're ready for what should be a pretty close battle. By the numbers, at least. Threes of the Tetris to 315. Still hanging on to the lead, but Morlando not going away easily. He's at 290, so still that 1 Tetris difference here around the 90 line mark. Doc Pie for a moment on Morlando's score at 314 for that Tetris to 337. Joey Parker turn on both sides. Lead actually now basically gone. 382, 386 with a 1-line difference. Morlando has come all the way back. Does not want to go down in a sweep. He might claim that losing is what he does now, but he doesn't want to make it easy. That's for damn sure. A lot of L's. Having to cover up the well, and again, we are getting close to transition here. Oh, and there... Wow, that is a bar burst you just don't care for. But Morlando's going to get out of it. 433, 478. Threes has taken back one of the Tetrises in that lead up to a 2-score difference here as we approach the transition in game number 3. Morlando again having to cover. The bar shows. Into transition at 547 for Threes and 484 for Morlando. So about 2.5 scores the difference. 19 speeds, here we go. Oh, and Morlando missing out on another quick tap. 487, he's going to be done. Console off, stream off, he says, screw it, Threes. Play it out, you're going to be on the big screen as soon as I can get it moved over. Rah! Morlando with the GGs and also angry words in the chat, but yeah, I get it. All right, you said roll over or bust, so now's your chance. No pressure, but everyone's watching you and only you now. Just want to say, no pressure. 692 in level 25 is a hey now, but a little bit of a ways to go for a max out pace. Probably going to need some 29 assistance. Ooh, misdrop of the L in the center of the screen. I get good pieces to get rid of it, mostly. Say that. There we go, now we're cleaned up. Tetris into 28, 8, 11. Clean board, low down mostly. There's a Tetris. 846 with one more before the transition to the 29 speeds, the thrill screen. And doubling in 849. Alright, no pressure, but again, we are all watching you. Where is the bar? Nowhere. Got it. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Good 5 taps. Oh, that bar didn't go. 934. That's it. But it's more than enough of the score to take the game in the match. GG. I just want to say that this is the second time in a row where I've been hosting Martz in a match, and half the time he's playing with a lit cigarette in his mouth. Gas 19 PB, let's go! That is pretty damn hype. What's your overall, congrats, intimidation doesn't work. Oh my goodness, he's busting out the trash talk. That's already intimidated. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. 833, 929. Cool. All right, players, if you'd like seeds, let me know. Is that level 6, 7? That is 6, 7. You're doing a 6, 7 on my show. You come on my show and do a 6, 7. The funny number. We got the funny number. Bro's still pushing down on it too. Absolutely, Marts. While Dan does a 6, 7, I will pin the seed in chat. Your 16th max today? Jesus, criminy. 81% of the way to the Minecraft Farlands? Nice. That is so much. All right. Well, we got readies on both sides. Y'all know what that means. No reason to delay. It's time to play game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Square up. Introductions, please. On the left-hand side, you know him, you love him, you see him every week. Never decline. He is known as Mr. Friendlies. Most matches in Tetris history by about a freaking billion. And DAS player out of Canada. Personal best, 844,460 as of 1 week ago. That is Marts. His opponent on the right-hand side just got a brand new DAS 19 PB, almost 400,000 points. Normally a hyper tapper, but today a DAS player out of the United Kingdom. Personal best 833,000, making this quite a match by the numbers. My tag team partner, 20 Dan 03. Dan has been playing a ton over in the DAS League, which I love to see personally. That is pretty awesome. I love it when folks are that eager to branch out and do more and different game play styles and just, you know, do a little something different with it. Right now, Dan's got a little lead at 132, though a bit of a awkward setup on the left-hand side. Mart's at 129, now 131, so actually we're like separated by a couple thousand points. It's not much in it here. Although Dan's still with a little bit of cleanup left to do, so Mart's with this Tetris is gonna take the lead at 154. Dan's gonna just focus on getting this well back to the right-hand side. I like that decision. There's something to be said when you're playing Tetris for a strategy simply entitled KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to do weird, complicated crap. Don't. Especially if, like, you're already in a situation that is a little uncomfortable. Just don't do complicated things. Do something real simple. Just burn it down. Take your lumps, move on. Stay alive, score points. There you go. 194-228. Martz has got about a 1 Tetris lead here as we get to the 60 line marker on both sides. Nice little key talk for Dan, though, and gonna knock down a score. Martz will answer 253-217, the halfway mark of the 18 speeds. When I say that Martz has the most matches played in Tetris history by about a freaking bajillion. The match database has Martz listed at 2,338 matches. In comparison, Dan's been playing about as long as I have, and has likely been playing more than I have. It's close. Martz is 2,338 according to the spreadsheet as he... Alright, there we go, gets Tetris down. Dan is 562, which is still a lot. It is less than a quarter of what Martz has. That's just bonkers. Dan does have more than a quarter of Martz's score, though. 337, 338. We're basically all knotted up here as we get to the 90 line mark on both sides. It's a little math. Let's see, what? 2,300 matches for Martz, and... when is his first recorded match on the database? December of 2019. A little under 7 years ago. Bro has basically played a match a day for 7 years. Just a quick little bit of head math there. Just let that sink in. Meanwhile, Dan has taken the lead just a little bit here. It's 395, 433. Similar line counts. Both players getting ready for the 19 speeds. Martz with another Tetris up to 419. Dan will answer back 456. You started watching Tetris in 2019 on YouTube? Nice. Now, I think that's really when... kind of the start of the scene really kicking off. Like, obviously, there was quite a boost during pandemic times. Ooh, Dan's stack getting a little bit spicy here with transition right around the corner. This could be dangerous. Oh, but, well, Dan has done it 459, but Martz's stack is what we call bad. And at 425, there's no way he's chasing that one down. Dan's score will hold on for game number 1. Not a bad showing from either player, all things considered, but it'll be Dan that gets on the board first. The same sequence got both of you. Yeah, just about. Thought the hole would open for the bar, never did. Yeah. All right, ready's on both sides. Dan on the board first, but can Martz answer back? In 3, 2, 1, square up. Both players in game 1 falling to a classic of Tetris, which is... ah, I see you're about to transition. What if I were to give you 49 terrible pieces in a row that you can't use and make you top out? Also, I appreciate that Dan uses a strat of mine, making sure to push down the first piece. Because that way, you can never club 0. Martz is kind of wrestling with a bit of a center well here that's just really not panning out. He's kind of giving up and going, nah, I'm going to move this back to the right. Oh. Which is, in this situation, absolutely the correct decision. Can't let yourself get sunk cost fallacied into wasting a million lines. Martz's facial expressions make you smile. He's a genuine treasure to the community. Like, invaluable to say the least, and not just for the Tetris gameplay. Ooh, that was a maneuver with that T-piece. Martz's jaw on the floor for a moment, but you know, could. Right piece. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's still going. Oh boy. It's going. Dan just calmly stacking away over there. I've got 210,000 points. I'm from the UK. Martz is fighting for his life in the meantime. 114 to 232. Did 250k in Game Boy Color. Woo! That is not a shabby score there. Good work, Livreinos. Oficial. Martz has gotten his ducks in a row, so to speak. 146. It's clean and starting to score Tetrises again. Dan has taken full advantage at 280, nearly doubling him up. How about a 5 Tetris lead here? This is a great matchup. This is one that, when it got booked, I actually was pretty excited for because this is definitely a very, I think, a very fair matchup. Dan playing with Das here. Dan shaking the handoff. I think he might have gotten away with a little bit of something there. 328 for Dan, 196 for Martz, who is clean and waiting for a bar, waiting patiently for a bar. Would love to see a bar. We are not seeing a bar. The bar has not arrived. A lot of other pieces have. And at 197, Martz is done and says, oops. Dan, 355. More than enough to take game number 2. I did have Martz mic'd up for a little bit there. Partway through that game. We did get a clip here I can play out for you.
Oh no, I'm going to let it go, man. It's going to come out. Oh no, Kingsman.
Thankfully, that's all we got before the microphones cut out. I think both our players enjoyed that. Dan kind of on one here, not gonna lie. 430 on 96 lines. Martz, in this situation, I mean, there's a chat line that people use in Dota, which I've been playing a lot lately, that speaks volumes and is always correct. Game is hard. Tetris is not an easy video game. Dan with a 597 transition into 19. I can't tell if that was a stretch or if that was a lean to get a piece over. Either way, I get it. Gonna let this game play out. Alright, that one was definitely a lean. Sometimes you gotta move into it to get them pieces where they gotta go. Sometimes you gotta do it. You do the same thing in Mario Kart, so might as well. Safety triple there, do not blame him. And trying to get this stack comfortable again. Nice. Oh, give us a bar. All right. That left side is so tough, though. Oh, Dan! So close. That was a hell of an effort, though. Yeah, no, no need to apologize for that, Mullen. You were grooving there. Well, Dan's definitely found his groove with Das, and now he's got his hands on the brooms too. But can Martz finally get a grip? In 3, 2, 1. Square up. That was quite an effort by Dan in Game 2, nearly PBing on Martz. Which kind of raises a question. I wonder how many folks have gotten PBs against Martz. I feel like it's got to have happened a number of times just because when you play that many matches, mathematically, it's gonna happen. And generally, both these players are in that kind of score range where a PB can absolutely happen just about at any time. Martz has gotten a couple, not quite back-to-back, but both very recently. And I know Dan's been playing a ton of DAS. As Nightbot spams the Twitch chat. $142 from Martz, gets a Tetris up to 164. 165 for Dan on the same line count. We're separated by that single and some pushdown points. Dan, a little bit of digging to do here. A little bit around the next box height. Martz, though, gets caught in the same kind of thing, but great L-piece double in the center for Martz. He'll get clean up quickly. And a bit of a tilt to the head here. He's going to be stuck in this dig a little bit while longer. Keeps having to put weight over the holes that are in his stack. And again, there's another square having to go over the holes in column 6. So he's going to be at this just a little while longer. And Martz now with a real-time lead at 195 as Dan now bar dependent in column 2. That is a That's a setup of all time. No, he's not going to wait for it. Oh, but the bar actually came fairly quickly, too. But now this stack for Dan getting real spicy. That was absolutely this piece needs to get over lean. 100% that was. But it's worked out, and Dan is clean. 188 for Dan, 222 for Martz. Trip deuces. For the man who basically has proclaimed himself the king of the caca. He's got the hat and everything. Hasn't busted it out the last couple of shows. Wonder if it's in the laundry. Then again, would that thing ever get clean? Hard to say. Either way, Martz's stack is clean right now at 273. Dan's at 239, ahead by a couple of lines. Oh, Dan didn't get that Z all the way left. All right, we'll get a bar over. But back to digging here. And Mart's going to widen the lead a little bit farther with that Tetris. I do not want to get swept. Maybe that will prove I'm better than Morlando. Oh. That was a cheap shot, and I feel bad for it. Ooh, Dan, in the meantime, I look away for 1 second, and Dan is digging once again. And this is getting spooky real fast. Oh boy, it's getting dark early. Oh my goodness, that is a clutch bar down the right. We're not out of the woods yet. At least Dan found a flashlight. And there's the bar! Big pop-off from Dan! Early shifts the bar immediately afterwards. But he does get out of that mess. Then doesn't adjust for the square for the J-piece. Anyways. Martz 384 and clean. Dan 292 got a hole in column 3, but is Tetris ready otherwise? Nice little key tuck here, but alright. Finally the bar shows up. Dan's got 316 and a hole to deal with in column 3. Martz, a little bit of digging to do, is at 394. Both players start to approach the transition. Eyepieces being poorly timed for Dan, like every single one. Welcome to Tetris. It loves to do this. Only always. But both players clean. Alright. A little something happening here. Excellent solve from Martz on the left-hand side there. 2 singles cleaning up the well in time for the bar to come. 446 with room for 2. Dan's got 356 into transition. Martz with some good stacking decisions there and gets this board ready for transition. Dan is at 359. Trying to uncover the well, but getting some not very helpful pieces for it. Now Martz kind of shaking the head, having to create a hole. All right, gets the bar over. Go into the Tetris at 491, but an early shift early. And that is Martz done at 492. Dan, though, not out of the woods, is at 365. 493 going to be required, so this is a hardy chase down. It just has no algorithm, yet somehow it does. I mean, it technically actually has a little bit more to the RNG than you think, as Dan's not going to get that T over, and Martz is on the board. GG. Thanks for your pity. That was hardly pity. That was well played, Martz. Give yourself some credit once in a while. Gosh dang it. And Dan, you did well to survive it and get to transition. Both players ready. Martz has finally got a hand on the broom. Can he get the other one there, or will Dan finish the job cleaning up? In 3, 2, 1. Square up. And Ben, it's interesting how the Tetris RNG works in that the basic gist is that it tries to roll 1 to 7 to come up with one of the 7 Tetris pieces to give you. Except that it rolls to, like, 8 for some inexplicable reason. But it also has what we call Memory 1, in that it remembers, it goes, oh, I just gave you this piece. I will try one time to re-roll and not give you the same piece again. Except that math is also messed up because we are working on a 40-something-year-old piece of equipment here that you need to remember can't do multiplication. So good luck doing randomness. It's just a lot of weird bit shifting and stuff. So it colossally fails, and as a result is actually biased against multiple pieces, and certain sequences that cannot happen, and ones that are more likely to happen than they should be. For example, you cannot get, you either can't get more than 4 bars in a row, or you can't get 4 bars in a row. However, you can get as many square pieces in a row as you damn well feel like, as proven on a show I used to host, where Kingsman himself once received 8 consecutive O pieces. It boggles the mind, we'll say. Dan trying to boggle his way through this stack. Good burn in the center, and he's going to find ways to reopen this well just in time. 153 for Dan, 177 for Martz. We're off and running in game number 4. Got 7 in a row once, Josh. Jeez. Yeah, that's... I mean, yes, I know my show is called Square Up. We don't need that many. We'll also get them, I mean. Don't have time to build a whole city right now. Yeah, basically. Martz, 186, clean, knocks down a Tetris, will go to 209. Dan, digging a little bit, is at 167. Hee hee, the funny number. Another bit of a lead. I love seeing these leads. The Mario Kart lead coming out here. But he's gonna get the well reopened. 213, 180, so about a 1.5 Tetris lead from Martz here. We're approaching the halfway mark of the 18 speeds in game number 4. It killed you, but it was pretty awesome too. Fair. It's one of those where at that point you kind of just go, all right, keep going. You know what? Keep it up. 7 pieces, it rolls out of 8, and the board is 10 wide. Yeah, actually, if I remember correctly, there was original ideas for the board to be much wider. Thank goodness they didn't do that, because this would be a far less interesting game with a 20-wide board. Mart's covering the well right when the bar comes. And having to create a hole here. He's waiting for another bar. Dan has taken a little bit of the lead. Well, that's not great. Oh. Nope. Nope, that's no good. Martz, done at 273. Dan, play it out. You're on the big screen. It'd be a very funny April Fool's joke to do at some point, Bitten. I mean, at least if you ask me. But I'm very easily entertained by very stupid things. Bright flashing lights, loud noises, colors, you know. The usual. Martz, I would not sell yourself short there. You played some really damn good games in this set. And as always, thank you so much for the 100 bits as well. Always generous. And with the J-Tuck here for another 500 transition. Every now and again, I've been known to do some things on April Fools, as Dan's going to get a 531 transition as Nick Castellanos hits one to deep center field, and that'll make it a 4-1 ball game. I have done some April Fools things in the past, such as making people play Tetris 2, which if you have not played, don't. If you have not played Tetris 2, do not play Tetris 2. Just trust me on this. Just trust me, bro. Yeah, Martz, that is, that's one of those numbers that we just don't think, we try not to think about. Ooh, Dan did not get that bar over and created a bit of a situation here. That is now quick tappable without being frame perfect. He got the quick tap. Is it Tetris 2? Yeah, it's garbage. At least the one that came out on NES, Super NES, and Game Boy. So picture Dr. Mario, but bad. First quick tap? Really? In a real game? Very nice. Well, Dan, that is more than enough of the score to say Game 4 is no more. You got yourself the game and the match. GG. Charlie woke up. We're through 2. That means we're halfway through. Our third match of 4, with 2 players ready to settle the score. Players, if you'd like same piece sets, feel free to let me know. And when you're ready to rock, as Josh says, let's effing go! Welcome on in, Constellacio in the chat as well, GLHF. Oh, Meister almost getting another 19-3 out of the way. We got some hype in the chat. You'll love to see it. Y'all love to see it. This is gonna be a banger, y'all. Players, if you'd like a seed, I can roll one up for you. And as always, this is Burb's semi-hourly reminder to stay hydrated. I've gone through a comical amount of water already. They want yes, of course they do. There it is, I'm pinning it in chat now. 7-6. Oh, I mistyped pin, good job. 7-6, Bravo 1, 2-0. I misspelled pin twice. Just came back with water. Smart. Good. Especially when it's this hot outside. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, we got readies on both sides. No reason to delay. It is time to play. Game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Square up. SZT, we're underway. Introductions, please, on the left-hand side. Player who's made appearances in so many places in the world of Tetris and is now gracing friendlies once again. Gas player out of the United States, personal best, 1,214,000 points. A legend of the scene. Ready to show his opponent how it's done. That on your left. Got a whole challenge named after him. It is Josh L. Tolles. His opponent on the right-hand side. Gas player out of the United States as well. Says he started the DAS Revolution. Personal best, 1,254,000 points. Longtime rival of my own, as well as so many others. That is Maestro. Yes, I'm working on the cams. There we go. Hold on. Here we go. That's better. And then a little bit of live jank. Boy, it wouldn't be a friendly show without. How did this happen? Hold on. Am I cutting off? That's a little bit better. That looks like Tetris. All going into the king of the rescreams himself as we get things going here. Josh with triple well in column 3. Maestro with digging to do as well. Both players having fun with the early part of this seed. Also 50-month subs from the king himself. Doing so much for the Tetris community as a whole. Doing a lot more than Tetris is for these pieces. Josh is in a world of hurt. Does squeeze piece over left. Ooh, got the bar over right. This is so spicy though. But this is some professional survival here. Maestro starting to take advantage, starting to get a couple of Tetrises down. Josh just surviving here, poking away brick by brick. bringing this down. And that is a dirty Tetris. 8 rows off the bottom. Monstrous. Put that well wherever he's gonna score. Josh just professionally working his way out of this. 179 versus Maestro's 301. Maestro's got the hearty lead, but it ain't over till the curtain comes down. Josh is thinking about setting up for another, but the bar came a little early. He'll take a Tetris on the right. 218 playing 324. Maestro's got the lead for now by about 5 Tetrises. He's been able to stay relatively clean for a while here, and that was more than enough of an opportunity to start building a cushion here before we face the 19 speeds. Now Maestro having to burn off a handful of lines here. Nothing dangerous, but it is going to slow him down just a little bit. That bar in the center will reopen the well. 264 playing 356 Tetrises for both. Josh is able to get 1 back there. Bring it to about a 4 Tetris difference here. Maestro will go for the S-spin and nail it. Fundamental. And now a couple of wonky pieces. Maestro will work through it nicely. Big sigh of relief for the big Tetris. 405 playing 312 as Josh now waiting for that bar to arrive. Waiting patiently for that bar to arrive. We please have... thank you. There it is. And another one. Take 2. They're small. The 360 playing 414 and a Tetris from Maestro to 436. We still see about a 4 Tetris difference here. We are approaching the transition. Josh has got 10 lines left. Maestro 15. Tries to set up a tuck with the square, but that is all of the wrong pieces. And, well, dirty Tetris for Josh in the meantime. He does not want to give up any more efficiency than he already has. There's another Tetris. Maestro has set up. We've got the gamer lean going here. As transition's right around the corner. Now it's Maestro going. My turn for a dirty Tetris. Column 8 for Josh to go into transition at 453. Mice is at 487. Masters of their craft going at it here as Josh knocks down another Tetris, 479. Maestro is into transition, 491 and counting. The lead has come down quite a bit here as Josh has been able to start putting the pedal to the metal, making Maestro work. Both these players definitely extremely strong DAS players. Threats at any stage of the game. Josh board getting a little bit high here, but there's the bar in time for the Tetris to 539. The lead vanishing, although Josh is a few lines ahead. Did transition just slightly earlier, but 565, he's got the real-time lead. Maestro will answer back. 580 playing 574 as Josh burns out a little bit. Next bar taking its time showing up here. There it finally is. Josh gets the score 605 and a 23. Maestro 608 and 22, back by 8 lines. Now it's Maestro's turn to deal with this drought. Will get through it and get the Tetris, 638. Josh is at 614. Takes a safety triple into a beautiful setup for a square tuck. Maestro with a little bit of burning to do here. But will Josh get a bar to take advantage? There's one. 653 playing 673. Now the Tetris with Josh will go up to 684, take the real-time lead back. Both players on level 24. Maestro still back a few lines. Retakes the real-time lead at 705. Josh waiting, finally gets a bar. Now has got to get this well reopened so we can get back to scoring. Do so with a couple of skims here. Maestro, that Tetris, 745. 722 for Josh. Well reopened, but only momentarily. Now a Tetris on 26 to 756. Maestro answers back. Another one for Josh, 790, 780. Both players on 26, but Josh ahead by 7 lines right now. Maestro having to pull off a couple of flashy tucks. Josh taking a triple there, very interesting. He's got 799 into 27. 815 for Maestro, still in 26. Oh, Josh lost S! He lost S! That's going to be it at 799. Maestro, the dirty Tetris down the center at 885 is good for game number 1. Oh, he missed shift in the center. Maestro was trying to set up for a couple here, and it's not going to happen. Where's my hearts? There's my hearts. Click it. I told y'all we were up for a banger. And we're starting it off like that. All right. Brilliant start, but now we got to continue it. Maestro up 1-0. Will he keep the momentum going, or can Josh tie us up? One way to find out. 3, 2, 1. Square up. Game number 2 underway. Interesting 5-high setup there with the tucks for Maestro. We'll knock down a Tetris. And then get the J to finish the process. The classic issue of Tetris players and counting to 4. And more tuck setups for Maestro. Again, panning out, although the ensuing piece is not as helpful. The player's clean, but just waiting for bars now. And you'll never guess what's not coming. The bar. Holy crap. Oh boy. Oh no, Johnson's gonna be done! Well was closed and the bar finally came. 119, the unfortunate early top, and Maestro at 151 has got the 2-0 lead. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. That's... I feel that. Yeah, that was a hell of a drought. I wonder how long that one was. Anybody want to go back and count that monstrosity? Cat. But cat is important. All right, we got readies on both sides, and Maestro is up 2-0. Hopefully, Josh has been able to shake it off. But can he get a grip on the broom? This is the third set in a row with a 2-0 start. Can we get to a game 4? One way to find out in 3, 2, 1. Square up! Didn't take long for the players to differ out of the intro there. Out of the opening, I guess. If you want to use a chess term, seeing as how we've already yoinked Elo. Maestro a little cleaner out of the start here. 138 through 26 lines. Josh, 25 lines, 82,000. So about a 2 Tetris difference we get going in game number 3. T-Tuck into J-Tuck for Maestro, resolving that right side very nicely. You can never really count Josh out. We saw in Game 1 some absolutely ridiculous survival, including just the filthiest Tetris ever. Thought he might be setting up for one here, but the bar took a little too long to show up. So a couple of triples will get this stack back under relatively good condition. And a Tetris finally. He'll get to 144. Maestro with a dirty left well is at 254, but is a few lines ahead. So about a 4 Tetris pace difference here. Josh now with very strange floating Minos for a moment there. It's alright. And now can we get a bar? We can for a dirty Tetris on the left-hand side. Josh just puts that well wherever and makes it work. He's going to have to because he's still got a deficit to dig out of here. Same line, just about the same line count, 195, 323. Maestro reopening that hearty lead. Just been able to stay a little bit cleaner. Ooh. Kind of a interesting series of tucks there from Josh, but nothing dangerous. It is going to slow him down a little bit again. We'll get set up dirty in the center. Row 2. Still able to knock down a Tetris. We'll get to 244. Maestro is clean, ready, and waiting at 370. We'll take one. 393. Josh still set up on row 2 here. We'll get that. Could get a T-spin double. It seems to be waiting for it as Maestro got really high up there. Instead, nice little S-spin for Josh, and he'll bring the stack back down. A Tetris would reopen that hole in column number 8. There we go, and a single to bring the well back to the right. But Maestro trying to run away with game 3. 441 playing 293. Well, safety triple for Josh there, 301. I think realizing that chasing this is going to require 19 regardless, so in order to do so. First, you gotta make it there. One of those strategy decisions, though, that can be really important in a match. This piece is really not working out with him, though. Needs J's like I need more water. Gets all the other pieces. All of the other pieces. Now set up dirty left well. Oh, look, the J. And 2 bars when that well was covered, naturally. 353 for Josh. There's a dirty left well. I'll get up to 378, but Maestro on an absolute tear. He is on one right now. 605 with room for 3. Would be just short of the 700, but yeah. That's tough to deal with, no matter how good you are. 629 now for Maestro. Sets up a Vitz in column 8. Little greedy, but... Oh, Josh! Oh, boy. Couple of hangs on the left. He's donezo. Maestro popping off. 655 into transition. Play it out. You're on the big screen. A choppy start after such a clean 18 from Maestro, but ooh, aggressive now with it. 718 and 21. He wants to make me ring the bell again. Will the game let him? Ooh, gets that Tetris just in time. That square didn't go, and that'll be the end of that little show, but Maestro! Saying the Death Revolution never ended. It just grew up a little. GG. This is a public service announcement. Yama, we are waiting. Please contact judges. Wait. I'm still judging. Crap. Also, since I forgot to say it earlier, Constellacio, thank you so much for the resub as well. Every little bit is appreciated and helps us make sure that we can continue offering all sorts of awesome Tetris content for you here on the internets and out at all of the events. Welcome on Lipton Neck, Party 1. Thank you for the raid. Just waiting for Yama to go online for our main event. If we don't hear from Yama very shortly, we may be looking for somebody to rescue Tetris. Hence the timer.
Looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event.
You heard the man. It's time for a rescheduled main event with a little bit of Tetris Rescue thrown in for a good measure. Players, if you'd like same piece sets, feel free to let me know. That was the calmest quick tap I think I've ever seen. SPS sounds good, says the gentleman on the right. Ooh, all right. Nice. We're gonna have ourselves a bit of a match here. Seed is pinned in the chat. We got a number seed. All numbers 1, 5, 3, 5, 7, 9. All odd numbers at that. The GLHF's in chat. The ready lights are on. No reason to delay. It is time to play our main event in 3, 2, 1. Square up. Oh, bar opener. Woo! There's a rarity. Introductions, please. On the left-hand side, normally a roller out of the United States, today playing with the superior playstyle of Das. No slouch at that. He's got a personal best north of 1.2 million, he says. Drawing up plans to win another match. That on the left is Doodle. His opponent on the right-hand side, Das player out of Canada. Coming in to save the day and go, Das is the way that I play. Personal best 1.211 million points. Used to only be in orange, but now we get to see the full thing, the full beautiful face and incredible hair today of Anpu. Absolutely rocking it. Just fully rocking it. Early days, game number 1, Doodle's gotten the cleaner start out of it. Both players getting kind of really high up here, because bars, as usual, not very forthcoming, but we're going to work our way through that little drought. Anpu with a couple of quick Tetrises. Doodle's going to get a couple as well, and have about a 1.5 Tetris lead here over the 30 line mark in game number 1. Anpu, another one of those mainstays of Das for quite some time. Always a very strong opponent. I haven't gotten to see Doodle play much Das lately, but I mean, if you're sporting a 1.2, you've got some serious chops. And Doodle was looking to put that to the test. Was talking about it in the Friendlies Discord server, which, by the way, if you're not there, should absolutely come hang out with us. Hey, maybe we'll see you on one of these shows Exclamation mark friendlies in the chat. tinyurl.com/TetrisFriendlies. Come join the club. Join the crew. We've got folks of every type of gameplay, every level of gameplay. And who knows, it could be the start of your own big Tetris career. Ampu would like to start receiving bars. The stack is quite high up. There's one finally. We'll get to 223. Creates a dependency on the left-hand side, so going to be poking away at that for a little bit here. Doodle is clean, knocks down a Tetris to 264. And a name I haven't seen much lately, 6-4. Every now and again, though, you see him poke back around. Ooh. Ampu stack really spicy there for a minute. Super high in the center, but nails a couple of clutch quick taps. And is squeaky clean again, and it is Doodle's turn to be digging for a hot minute here. This is not a friendly stack. Not conducive to easy burning. Ampu's going to knock down a Tetris there and start whittling away at this deficit. Is ahead by a couple of lines here, as Doodle will now finally get the well reopened. 298 playing 262 on the same line count. Ampu having to take a safety triple there, but then gets another score. Oh, Doodle does as well. So lead down to... Actually, lead is still around 1.5 Tetrises after all is done and told. Kind of weird how that works out. Couchad, welcome on in. Here just in time for the main event. The final match of 4 for this fine Wednesday afternoon, evening, and whatever else time it is out where we all are. Ampu actually taking the real-time lead, but is billion lines ahead, or like 11 for a moment there. So Doodle gonna retake it shortly afterwards, knock down a couple Tetrises to catch back up in that respect as well. Ampu hits a very nice S-spin in order to only need one line to keep this stack clean. Adds a Tetris, 406 at 107 lines. Doodle hitting the 100-line mark here eventually. We're going to take... Okay, there it is at 414 past the Joey Parker turn. Ampu didn't quite get that square all the way left, and this is a little spicy. We have hit spicy. A rough height to be digging at, especially at this point in the game. That square down the center is gonna be very handy. Ampu staying calm. May have been a slight overshift there, but an excellent adjustment. Doodle had a bit of traffic as well, but has gotten it cleaned out and is maintaining this lead. Is also a bunch of lines behind. Ampu's going to take a Tetris there and just work on bringing the stack down with Tetris right around the corner as Doodle gets to breathe a sigh of relief and bring the stack down from the freaking sky. The bar timing not been very helpful for either player right before transition. What do you know? It's the old Tetris tradition. There's a Tetris for Doodle. 513 with room for 1. 445 with room for 1 from Ampu, who's just going to have to double in at 447. Then get a Tetris a few pieces later. Excellent burns from Doodle. Very good vision there. Keeps the stack open. But it's going to have to burn into that double. Just squeezes the bar over. Then gets another Tetris. Ooh, Ampu lost ass in the center of the stack. Going to burn things down quickly. That was very scary. It could have been curtains within seconds there. But very patient survival out of Ampu. He's going to get Tetris ready. Bit of an aggressive placement of the bar. But does get that square left. There's the bar for the Tetris. He's up to 514, but Doodle in the meantime now up by 100,000 points and still behind a few lines as well. 617, 516. Tetris for Doodle. Ampu can answer back to 543, but down by 101,000 and still ahead 6 lines. Chance for me to sip me some water as both players are clean for the moment. 599, 699, 100,000 even the difference in levels 22. Players waiting patiently for the next bar. Doodle had covered up right when one comes, but reopens well quickly, staying clean, still ahead by that 100,000 points. Ooh, early shift for Ampu. Gonna slow him down a little bit more here. We've seen some pretty solid survival from him so far. Needs a J or something left. Alright, that L will do nicely. Now gotta try and get this well reopened because Doodle is trying to run away with this. Couple of excellent pieces for Anpu. Gets a well reopened at 645, but Doodle's lead now up to 150,000 points. Bit of an aggressive placement there. Misdrops in the center, but able to get a Tetris and bring the stack back down. Doodle at 829. Anpu at 679. Knocks down a Tetris to 710 as Doodle finishes getting cleaned up. Still with a commanding lead here as we hit the later stages of the 19 speeds. Both these players using DAS right now, so 29, not much of an option, because neither of them are Pixelandy. Unless, you know, they're going to pull out something I'm not expecting. 778 to 876, 100,000 difference, give or take, although Anpu has been ahead in lines most of the time here. And, oh, this is getting scary now for Anpu. Will get the bar over for the Tetris. Left side, though, not going to allow him to score. Might have to play off a row 2 to try and have a chance here. 821 playing 914. Doodle is not going to be able to score Tetrises for a little bit here. There's a row 2 Tetris for Anpu. Trying to charge back into this 856. And another one. He's trying to make the comeback. Doodle could feel the pressure. Looked like he was trying to go dirty in the center himself for a little bit here. But now having to burn lines away once again. Anpu's at 894. Down by just one Tetris as both players are at level 28. Anpu, set up for his last one. Waiting for the last bar. Is he going to get it in time? No! It just misses! Doodle's 931 clings to life and takes game number 1. GG. That is how DAS matches go. Excellent first game. No pressure, just do it a few more times now. I think the sound of me popping my wrist might have just barely gotten picked up on the mic. It's kind of incredible. Alright, we got ready lights on both sides. Doodle strikes first. Can Anpu strike back? Is that orange about to get peeled? One way to find out in 3, 2, 1. Square up! Game number 2 underway, and we are dead tied because nobody has pushed down. I am slightly sad. Not that sad. Because I'm getting to watch really good Tetris. So, you know. You take the wins and the losses. Both players had gotten built up a little high there before the bars actually decided to show up for scores, but now they're starting to come in. And Anpu did push down, thank you. I see those 3 push down points. Ooh! I look over and Doodle is having a bit of an expression, and I see why. Ow. Not too bad to clean up, just kind of one of those where you go, I'm sorry. What? Excuse me, Tetris? I do not agree with what you claim. Has occurred here. Either way, no real harm done. It's 172 to 186. Anpu is going to take a little bit of a lead here, and Doodle is going to keep it close. Oh, and then the painful early shift of the S piece. That right there, the woe of many a DAS player. Ah, I see where the next piece needs to go. Allow me to get ready to move it. Crap. But Doodle handling it well. Gonna get a row 2 Tetris here up to 219. And a handy little skim to keep the stack nice and clean. 220 to 254. Anpu out in front here in game number 2. I mean, players kind of just making it easy for me right now. Just don't have to worry about much. Doodle is playing on row 2. That's about it, really. They're handling droughts well. They're stacking smoothly. Makes sense. 315 to 370. Anpu has got about a 2.5 Tetris lead here over the 70 line mark on both sides. Kind of an unhelpful Zed for Doodle, but does handle it really well. Finds a very cool tuck solution. Continuing to stay up on row 2 here just to try and keep pace with Anpu, who has not really slowed down much this game, if I have to be entirely honest. Almost fell over in my chair there just by trying to lean back a little. Good job, me. I'm a functioning adult that's been allowed to own a house. 406 for Doodle, 462 for Anpu. Both players really not having too many issues with this seed for the most part. Anytime it seems like they're about to enter a bit of an issue, they've been able to solve it very quickly. Although Doodle has had some really rough timing with the bars here. They keep coming right after he's had to cover up. Hadn't been able to take advantage of the last few. And now this is getting a little spicy. Good dash control, though, out of Doodle to keep that under control. Get the Tetris and bring the stack back down. 495 for Anpu, 441 for Doodle, who's a couple lines ahead after some of that high up burning. But Anpu now with a troubling misdrop of an L piece. I want a square left. We'll take a sitting J. Gets well reopened. But this is a bit precarious, especially at this line count. Can't be digging too long up here. We'll get the well reopened. And in the meantime, Doodle took the real-time lead for a little bit there. We are now separated by maybe a Tetris. 533, 550. And Doodle's finally reopened that hole in column 7. Can transfer the well over. One line left before the 19 speeds. At 557, 573 for Anpu, who's got a hole, so he's going to burn in at 575. 581 the transition for Doodle, not to clean his stack, but he managed to take the lead at transition after being down about 1 to 2 Tetrises the entire time, just staying close enough to stay in striking distance. He's having to start out digging here, though, in the 19 speeds, so Anpu retaking the lead at 627 to 592. There's the sit-up gamer lean from Doodle this time around. It worked out for Maestro last match. Anpu, though, continuing to try and build on this lead. 619, 654, 1.5 Tetrises separating the players into level 21. There's another score for Doodle, 672. Anpu can answer back, though, 733. Just a one-line difference. So at this point, obviously you want to keep surviving, but the more lines you have to burn off, the more of that dwindling runway you start to give away. Unfortunately, both players wrestling with a drought. Now Doodle's left side is going to be extremely difficult to access, and I think he knows it. That's going to be it at 707. Just can't quite get it there. And Anpu 754, dagger of a Tetris to 782, ties this set up 1-1. GG. As I set the video of music from White Bat Audio to loop just in case. For the first time tonight, we're all knotted up at one. Who will break free, take advantage, and gain all the momentum in the world in 3, 2, 1. Square up! Anpu with a bar down the center to finally start getting this well back to the right-hand side. Bit of a choppy start here. We'll get a Tetris, get on the board finally. As we get game number 3 rolling, all the other sets today went 2-0. This is the first time today we've gotten to see a 1-1 guaranteeing a game 4. $120 for Doodle, $42,000 for Anpu, who has just not really been able to get very comfortable this game. Finally has the well in a normal spot, able to knock down a Tetris there. The parady's a little rough before that T-piece. Anpu handling it well. Doodle the Tetris to 212. Anpu at 113. Now Anpu opting to do a little spin with that Z, but only having to burn out one line to resolve the tuck situation. Not too bad. But Doodle has just kind of really been taking advantage whenever possible. Which, I mean, is kind of what you're, like, supposed to do. Although now these pieces, kind of dookie. Kind of dog water. Doodle stack getting a little bit rough. Anpu's not great either, but quickly cleaned back up. By smooth jazz music has gone silent inexplicably, despite there being several more minutes. Please resume playing the music. I can fill dead air, and have done so for a very long time before, but if I don't have to, I don't want to. I'm doing it anyways, cause why is there, like, several minutes of silence here? There we go. Had to fast forward to find the rest of that song. These things happen. Tetris for Doodle gonna go up to 315. Same line count for Anpu, 259. So 2.5 Tetris difference. Doodle out in front here in game number 3. Trying to get to match point, does hit a nice Z-spin into the single, into the Tetris. For a bit there was way ahead in lines, but Anpu closing that gap up at least. 363, 327, so about a 1.5 Tetris lead for Doodle. Not the comfiest stack right now. He's gonna take some time to burn this out. Anpu also not the most comfortable, but gets things opened swiftly. Doodle the one that gets a Tetris, though. Anpu's got the well covered. There's another bar in time, and he had the dash for it, so gonna get out of that before it gets ugly. But Doodle trying to build this lead further. Very efficient decisions. It led to a very high stack in the center. Oh, and he had to cover up right when the bar came, but another one shows up. And another one that cannot use. Anpu has got a hole in column 5 that's now got to be addressed, so Doodle is going to add to this lead here. It's 465, 406 as we approach transition in game number 3. Anpu's got this stack low down, is waiting both for a bar and transition, which is right around the corner at this point. And the bar is not showing up. This is a brutal time for it. A really bad time for it. Doodle's going to transition at 521. Anpu will get that bar for the Tetris, 438. He's behind by a handful of lines. Going to get a triple here to bring the stack back down. Doodle is clean in 19, ready to score, ready to add to this lead. As Anpu goes in dirty at 448. But starting to whittle this stack down. Has to cover up for a moment when a couple of bars show. Anpu, experienced with surviving these situations, though, is getting the stack down, but Doodle has brought this lead well north of 100,000 points now. 601 playing 460 as we go through levels 21 and 20. Anpu gets that bar left and can finally, perhaps, yes, we'll get a Tetris down the center for Anpu and the well transfer, but at this point, it's 160,000 points to Doodle. Doodle is ahead by a couple of lines, but that is not going to make up for this deficit. And Anpu with a misdrop of a T-piece on the left-hand side. Oh, and covers it well right when a bar comes. Needs one in a hurry. It comes and gets it over just barely. Follows it up with a triple, and he'll bring the stack back down, but early shifts a T-piece. Got a very high center here. Just gonna have to take that triple. Doodle 727, now 160,000 points out in front, but Anpu's just gotta focus on survival here if he wants to stay in this. Doodle with another Tetris, 760. 572 for Anpu. But he gets a left well Tetris, 603. Set up for another left well. Quick tap over. This next bar taking forever to show up. Oh, Anpu kept dash just enough to get that quick tap over. 640 playing 797. Doodle trying to run away with it. But Anpu, oh, the bar not coming when he needs it. This is getting dire. It is getting dark early. But Anpu fighting to keep in this. Oh, the C doesn't go. 649, he's done. Doodle 899 will get the victory. Go up 2-1. Wow, that was a lot of useless bars. Like, wow. Hey, there's a dirty. Nice. All right. One more? One more? Yay! That's a worthy pop-off. GG. All right, we got readies on both sides. Can Doodle maintain that momentum off of the max and finish the job, or will Anpu pour us all a glass of delicious cider? One way to find out in 3, 2, 1. Square up. Y'all have been getting a treat today. My goodness, we're seeing some excellent DAS plays. Now, can the party extend a little bit longer? Anpu had to spend a good chunk of Game 3 there playing from behind, so this time around, able to keep much cleaner to begin with. Although the S&Z burst is... It's not great. But good survival out of both players earlier. And we are almost all knotted up. 118, 120. Nope, that I think... Is it, what, now, will it loop? Ba-da-ba-da-ba, I'll just do it myself. $210 for the Noodle, $212 for Anpu. I think we can go ahead and say it. So far, this game is neck and neck. I said it, so there. You can't stop me because I'm the one hosting the show for some reason. Okay, let me host the show. Actually, we are separated by a half single right now. Anpu having to take a safety double, then a Tetris. As naturally, bars are taking the sweet time. A momentary loss of sanity, they let me host. Yeah, seriously. This is like the third different show I've hosted, too. Just now they're letting me be on this channel, which is quite a brave choice. 336 for Anpu, 335 for Doodle. We are separated by half a single still. Literally just in lockstep with one another right now. Neither player wants to make this easy on the other. still just 380 points in it right now. This is... Do not touch your dials, folks. Do not adjust your set. That's how close this game is. Tetris for Anpu to 476. Doodle is a few lines back at 453, so the next Tetris will prove that it remains very, 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 very close. Although now Anpu with the smallest bit of burning here. Oh, we're still hardly separated by anything. Who am I kidding? Well, but Doodle, bar dependency in the center. Excellent skim. Making good use of what he's given. Double Tetris, breath of relief. 502, 524. Yeah. Oh, now it's Doodle ahead by, I think, one single. Literally, if Anpu takes a single here, yep, we're tied. Well, we were tied, and then Doodle took a single. Yep, we are separated by a line. $570 for Anpu, $571 for Doodle. Just a single in it here as we approach transition in game number 4. Doodle looking to finish the night off. Anpu wanting to push this party a little bit longer. And he's going to be burning into transition here. Ooh, that was a very dangerous transition. He needs another bar to hurry. He's going to get it. 619 for Anpu, 619 for Doodle. Anpu not even going to mess with the dirty Tetris, just going to burn it out. The safe decision, the smart decision with a game this close. 643, 629. Doodle just barely out in front. Anpu with the Tetris as Doodle gets ready into level 20. Doodle will answer back. 669. Hey now. 681 for Anpu. Ahead by a couple of lines at this point. Doodle waiting for the right piece to get ready. It is taking its time showing up. Finally can take a couple of skims here. 675 out of Tetris, 701 to 707 at the same line count. Back to a 6,000 point advantage, but now it's Anpu who took advantage for just a split second there. 6,000 points in it here, going through post-transition. At this point, it's a matter of who will blink first. Wow, that was a clutch quick tap out of Anpu, just barely kept ass. Doodle's got a bit of trouble brewing on the right side of the stack, and no, that L didn't go! That left side is blocked off, 760's done! Anpu, 821 and counting! Will push us to our first and only delicious decider! I'm kind of having that's a hell of a game out of both sides here. Oh. Anpu trying to drag this one out. Oh, doesn't get the L to the right. 1.1 clutch time. Yeah, this would be the time for it. Last game of the show. Alright, double 1.1s, double kill screens. Because we got ourselves a decider and we don't count those down from 3. Not in my world. We count them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square up! Main event worthy gameplay right here. Back and forth all the way through. These two putting on an absolute show. Bringing it all down to a single game 5. Absolute cinema. Anpu's stack getting a little spooky. A very rough Z piece here, but some very clutch solves. Well is reopened. This is a hell of a drop, but Anpu survives it. Big sigh of relief there. And well earned. 129 for Anpu, 187 now, 210 for Doodle. Took advantage during that very dicey dig up top from Anpu. $199 plays 256. Doodle head by about 2.5 scores here as we get to the 50 line mark in game number 5. It all comes down to this. So you're going to see players do everything they can to stack on every point. Fight their hardest through the worst of the digs. Whatever it takes. Tetris to Doodle to 370. Anpu starting to trail behind a little bit here. Does find a Tetris there to 297, but down by around 100,000 here. Almost 100,000 at the same line count. Cold Bucket in the chat. Cheering on his friend Doodle. Doodle aura right now. Big deep breath to focus. The Tetris for Anpu to 345. Doodle 441. Doodle now taking a safety triple, which is a good decision with the way that stack was getting. Rewarded with a couple of Tetrises for his patience. 493 on 97 lines. Trying to just run roughshod here. Just over 100,000 points difference, just under 5 Tetrises. So we get past the Joey Parker turn. One last time. Players are getting ready for transition. And slapped over the head with 3 consecutive bars. That more tonight than I think I've seen all month in my own games. Doodle up to 562 at 110 lines. Funny little spin of the J there. I like it. Doodle looking for a 600 plus transition here. Already only needs one more Tetris to get there. Anpu can get in the mid-5s if the pieces cooperate. There's a bar there. Doodle's had to create a hole in the left-hand side, but it's already at 610. Transition, though, now right around the corner. Anpu bringing the stack back down to the bottom. No risks taken here. Knows he's going to have to play his heart out on 19. Doodle is set up on row 2, waiting for the bar, then take him into transition. Will get it. Goes in 641 to 559. 90,000 points the difference. Game 5. Here we go. Anpu choosing to take the stack down early. Doodle with a clutch T-spin to keep this stack clean. Now Tetris ready. Bar score will go to 674. 590 for Anpu. 84,000 points the difference. Anpu having to take a triple here. That left side is getting a little too high. Doodle's going to get a Tetris. Widen this lead. It's back over 100,000. And now Anpu set up, ready, waiting. As Doodle goes into 21, 703. Anpu gets the bar, but so does Doodle. Same time, 626 to 730. 104K the difference, but Doodle with a little cleanup. Anpu stack is clean. Bar score 653, 739, 86,000. Anpu still clean. Stacked high. Gets a Tetris 681. Doodle answers 768. Anpu unable to use that bar for a score. When will the next one show? Again, the well covered when the bar comes. And again, just barely gets quick tap. Finally, Anpu gets that Tetris to 718. 802 for Doodle. Leaned in, focused. Gotta bring the stack back down. Safety triple for Anpu, 727. Oh, Doodle's left side. As Anpu takes another Tetris to 758, Doodle's gonna need help in a hurry. That's not gonna get left. 807, Doodle is done. Anpu in a chase down. One Tetris would do it. Double flips the bar. There's the bar, there's the score, there's the game and the match. Play it out, Anpu. Oh, just get those pieces over. Let's go. Come on. Ooh, that left side. Ah, that bar doesn't come. That's a hell of a game, though, and a hell of a way to finish it. GG's to both players. But Anpu survives game number 5 and will take the game of the match. GG. Yeah, that was some spooky pace, and those are excellent games all the way down. The best death set. That was a really solid set. You gotta pat yourself on the back for that. Folks, it has been an awesome show. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, no, Jay, I was saying that at the start of the set. I mean, crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Folks, it has been an awesome day. Thank you, everybody who came out and played, who came out and watched here on Twitch, on YouTube. Double S, double A with the orange emotes for Tetris' favorite orange. For now, though, I have been IanKeith. This has been Square Up, your 34th favorite Wednesday Tetris show. I'm gonna go say hi to some more Tetris folks, but for now, a reminder as always to stay awesome, stay safe, and stay chill. And remember that it's never goodbye, it's only good night. Good night, everybody!